Hi everyone, it's Brittany, and today we are going deep into something that every seeker eventually bumps into: free will. Now, before I even get into it, if you've watched my God Mode video, you might think that this video sounds like a contradiction, but it's not. That video pointed to the same truth, that who you really are isn't the character. And power doesn't mean control. It means clarity. This right here is the upgrade. So, back to free will. I'm not speaking from a lens of religion, science, or even the law of assumption or attraction. I'm speaking from awareness, the part of you that was here before any story of a you even began. Nothing exists outside of awareness. The person is just a thought about what's appearing. So if you're listening to this, you've probably done a lot. Affirming, flipping thoughts, scripting, healing, identity work, deciding, letting go. And maybe you're wondering, well, wait, is any of this actually me? Do I really have a choice here? That question is huge because it cracks the illusion wide open. The you who's convinced it's choosing, deciding, and controlling, that's not you. That's the character. And it's fine. The character isn't bad or wrong. It's just not the one running the show. And yeah, I know, I get it. You're probably thinking, but I have manifested things. When I decided. When I refused to accept anything else. When I felt it was done. And I know, I felt that too. It looked like the character was doing it. But actually, the shift wasn't about more control. It was about less. It happened when the character loosened its grip. When it stopped trying so hard. When something deeper moved. That's what changed everything. So, what power do you really have? Well, it depends on who you believe you are. If you believe you're the character with a past, beliefs, trauma, even desires, then honestly, there's no real power there. The character doesn't choose its thoughts or feelings or even what it wants. All of that just appears. And, okay, you might be thinking, yeah, but if there's no separation, why do you keep separating the character from source? And that's a great question. So yes, awareness, God, source, the absolute, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it, is all there is. But just like light and shadow come from the same sun, the shadow isn't the source. Awareness is the light. The character is the shadow it casts. They're not separate, but the shadow has no power of its own. It can't create. It just appears when something's blocking the light. And that's how it is with us. The character doesn't do. It reflects. It reacts. It plays out. So when I say you're not the character, it's not to make you reject your humanness. It's to remind you that the one you thought was in control never actually was. The one trying to fix it, figure it out, get it right, that's not you. When I say the character has no control, that doesn't mean nothing is in control. It means the only thing that's ever really moved anything is awareness itself. And it's not in control the way a human thinks of control. It's not sitting somewhere making choices or managing outcomes. Just by existing, awareness orchestrates everything perfectly, intelligently, and in total harmony. It's the quiet space that was here before the character ever appeared. The stillness holding every thought, every breath, every movement. That's the real power people have been chasing. Not personal power, not manifesting better, but seeing that life itself is power. And you are that life. You're never apart from it. It doesn't need effort or belief. It's the same intelligence that spins galaxies and keeps hearts beating without a single plan. So when you stop trying to control, you don't lose power. You finally see what real power is because it's been here the whole time, moving as everything. And when awareness starts to see that the character never chose anything, you can relax. No more needing to fix what was never broken. No more guilt for things you never really did. That's where real peace begins. Not by escaping life, but by clearly seeing that the you trying to manage all of it was never the real you. And just so you know, this is not about walking around trying to convince yourself that there is no me. Sometimes the sense of a me still shows up, especially when something hits close to home. Emotions arise. Reactions happen. That's not wrong. It's just not personal anymore. Awareness doesn't need to push that away or pretend it's not there. It just doesn't cling to it. Now, let's talk about desire. Desire isn't wrong, guys. It doesn't need to be pushed away or denied, and it doesn't need to be worshipped either. It's just there, like a wave coming and going. But here's the thing. The character thinks it's the one who wants these things. It says, I want this, I need that, my life depends on this thing. But that's not true. Desire arises in awareness, just like every thought, every emotion, and the character itself. It's not personal. Did the character choose its desires? Did it sit down with a list of every possible thing and decide, okay, these are the dreams that I will choose. I'm going to choose that these things make me happy, and these are the things that are going to upset me? No. No. Those wants just showed up. Even when you think, oh, I wish I could stop wanting this thing. That's just another thought appearing. So when you really see that the character didn't even choose its desires, the pressure to figure it all out starts to loosen. If the character's not choosing, it's not to blame. It's not in charge. It's just reacting to the script it's playing. And that's not a problem. That's freedom. Because when desire isn't being clung to or chased, it either happens or it doesn't. But your peace, your happiness, doesn't depend on that. And just to be clear, guys, when I say it happens or it doesn't, I am not saying that you have to settle or pretend like you're okay when you're not. Because the character wants what it wants, right? Period. Not something better. That specific thing. But sometimes, and this is where we get real here, guys, that thing doesn't show up. It's not because you failed. It's not because you didn't persist enough. But because that thing was never what you were truly after. It was just what the character thought would finally make it feel whole. And that's the trap, guys. It's the loop. Believing that fulfillment, love, security, happiness is hiding in some 3D form, and then chasing it again and again. But the moment awareness stops identifying with the chase, something shifts. That grasping loosens. The desperation falls away. Because what you really are was never chasing anything. It was already whole. And sometimes a want just shows up, seemingly out of nowhere. Not like some big dramatic moment, just a quiet tug. Like, yeah, that would be nice. And honestly, guys, if that little spark shows up, maybe something like, ooh, I kind of want to experience that, or this scene feels fun to imagine, go with it. Not because you need it to happen, not to fix anything, but just because it feels fun and lighthearted. That's not effort or control. That's just play. There are no rules here, guys. You're not going to break awareness by having fun. Rest when you need to. Play when it feels good. You don't have to overthink what's allowed. It's all a part of this experience. It doesn't feel like planning or trying anymore, though. It's more like awareness leaning gently in a direction. And when that happens, I personally just notice it. I don't grab it. And if it happens, as it usually does, beautiful. And if it doesn't, I still feel whole. Because I've seen that most of the things that I used to really want were really just me trying to fill a hole that never even existed. And it's funny, the moment you stop chasing, the thing either shows up quickly and easily, or it just totally stops mattering. But either way, you are free. You don't become what you already are. You just stop being who you're not. From that space, the form can still appear, and it usually does. But your fulfillment, your happiness, your security doesn't depend on it. You're not empty without that thing. You don't feel like you're missing out. You just no longer feel like you're starving. Because fulfillment was never in the thing. It was in the end of the chase. When the idea, I am the doer, drops away, what's left isn't nothing. It's that infinite freedom that was always here. The only liberation is from the person. The person is never real. Freedom means no second, no other, no duality. Nisargadatta Maharaj. What he's pointing to is that real freedom is not about getting everything that the character desperately thinks it wants. It's in realizing that the character was never you. Now, let's talk about the nervous system. I know that people say, if your nervous system isn't regulated, nothing will change. But here's what's really happening, guys. You're not the body, right? You're also not the nervous system. You're the awareness of it. The body, the mind, the world. All of it is happening in you. Awareness. So trying to fix it so you can get things, it just adds pressure and tension. When awareness stops fighting, the system relaxes. Not because you controlled it, but because you stopped resisting it. And the peace that comes with that, it's not from fixing anything. It's from seeing there was never anyone who needed to. Okay, let's talk about letting go. Letting go doesn't mean you've stopped caring or that life just falls apart. It's more like this quiet moment when the body finally relaxes. When you realize you can stop gripping so tightly. For a long time, I thought that letting go was something that I had to do, but that's still the character managing things. Letting go just happens. It's what appears when the mind gets tired of fighting life. When you're seeing from awareness, even surrender stops feeling like effort. It's not a technique. It's clarity. The peace isn't in deciding to let go. It's in realizing there was never anyone actually hanging on. That shift changes everything. And it's the same shift that showed up during one of the hardest moments of my life. And I know that I've shared this story many times, but it shows exactly what I've been saying throughout this entire message from a real experience. So I was deep into the law of assumption world when my husband became very sick. And I decided he's healthy now. It's done. I lived in the end. I denied the unfavorable 3D reflections. And I said all the right things. But he got worse. And worse. Until he was in the ICU. Doctors completely baffled, with no clue as to why he kept getting sicker. I was exhausted, running on fear and control. Couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I was just trying to keep it all together for our kids and still trying to control the outcome. And then I had this dream, or really I see it now as a knowing. And it told me, you've done enough. It's okay to rest. And something in me automatically let go. Yeah, it felt scary to the character, absolutely. But underneath that, there was this sense of relief because something deeper moved. And the experience all unfolded within a day. Really, literally the next day. The surgery was scheduled for that following morning, but the surgeon felt a pull to do it that evening instead. And after the surgery, he had said that if we would have waited, it would have cost my husband his life. That's how it unfolds when awareness moves. Not from control, but from an unseen power taking care of itself. And guys, this is not about time or speed. Whether something shifts in a moment or appears to unfold slowly, it's still the same awareness expressing itself. The pace of it never measures the truth. It only describes how it seemed to appear. Okay, one last thing that I really want you guys to hear. And I know that this is a huge thing for a lot of you. You are not responsible for how the character has behaved. Guilt, shame, regret, embarrassment. If you're holding on to it, it's safe to let it go. The character was just running its programming, and you didn't choose that. If your mind says things like, oh my gosh, if only I had known, or if only I did it this way, or if I would have said this thing, then just let it be. You didn't fail. You didn't mess it up. Because you weren't ever the one in charge. And realizing that, it's liberating, because now you don't have to fix what you never broke. All right, guys, wrapping things up here. The one that you believed you were, that version of you, isn't the one in control. But awareness, what you actually are, has never been stuck, never missed out, never been overwhelmed. It doesn't chase. It doesn't force. It doesn't control. It just is. And from that space, life unfolds. Not because you finally figured out the big secret, but because you stopped believing that you needed to. There's no separate you who needs to change things so that life will shift. That whole idea assumes a person trying to move a world. But this, what you are, is already the world it's appearing in. And when you feel something change, it's not because the character made it happen. It's because awareness realized, I'm done identifying with that. So it's not about changing your perspective. It's about seeing through the one that said you had to. When that dissolves, what's left is a quiet knowing. Everything you've ever wanted was already appearing right here. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for being here with me. I have missed you all so much. I hope you've been having a wonderful week. And I just want to say, as always, thank you so much for your amazing comments, your support, helping each other in the comments. I really, really love seeing that. And I truly, truly appreciate you all. So I do have a few announcements. I'm just going to direct you over to the community tab. Those will be posted either already as this video is out or tomorrow. So check on the community post for those things. Just little notes about the Discord community and my next membership video, the Q&A video. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. I hope you all have an amazing, amazing rest of your day and week, and I will see you all soon.